This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
My countrymen and my friends, I had hoped against hope that some miracle would prevent a devastating war and bring to an end the invasion.
This most serious threat World Wrestling Federation has ever known.
The long-term future of sports entertainment could change forever.
A succession of actual wars have shaken the entire world and have threatened to bring on the gigantic conflict, which is today, unhappily, a fact.
No force of nature and no act of God could stop this invasion from happening.
I have said not once but many times that I have seen war and that I hate war.
This is our last chance.
There's no going back. There is no tomorrow. They want to finish us all.
Feel this moment for the rest of your life.
This war is only half over, and it could damn well be lost.
We're laying it all on the line.
Nothing can stop the WCW and ECW.
Austin is going to lead us into invasion.
Lift up your heart. All will come right.
We will kick WCW and ECW's.
No WWF superstar is going to deny us from our destiny.
Dad, the sports entertainment.
I have seen war, and I hate war.
Place to Be Nation. Welcome back to another episode of Nation Invasion. I'm your host, James Gruenberg, and we are officially on our way to SummerSlam. We are past the Invasion pay-per-view. Stone Cold is now leader of the Alliance. He jumped ship from WWF to WCW and ECW Alliance. And also, but that is not without consequence, as Kurt Angle last week on SmackDown beat Booker T for the WCW Championship. And Vince McMahon has reinstated The Rock. So a lot is going to happen between these two shows here tonight. But before we deep dive into these shows, I'd like to welcome back my guest at this time. He helped me watch King of the Ring 2001, and that is Mr. Keith Langston. Keith, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, Bubby, I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. A lot to unfold
Sure.
here tonight. But like I said before, Keith, Kurt Angle now has the WCW Championship. He beat Booker T on SmackDown and made him tap out.
You know, I remember going to meet Kurt Angle. I think he might have I think it was the U.S. champion, but it would have been during 2001. It was when his book came out, and I went to like it was either a Borders or a Barnes and Noble, I forget. And I remember going to seeing him getting his autograph like on his book. But he was the WCW champion because he had the championship with them, and I thought that was really great. But then I think he lost the championship like shortly thereafter. So I don't remember. God, I don't know why he would have been. It was in like Brookline, or not Brookline, Brockton. But I don't know where they were that they would have been like. He would have been around. I mean, because I don't think they were at like. I don't think they were at anywhere in Boston. So it was kind of funny, but yeah. Oh no, you know what? They were in Raw like the following day. So maybe that's where he lost it to Edge. So maybe I went. It was like November of 2001. So it might have bbeen then when he lost it to Edge. But yeah, so that was kind of cool getting to meet Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt Angle, he's turning into a wrestling machine. He won't stop until he gets what he wants, and that is a fight versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at SummerSlam for the WWF title. But tonight he has to face in a rematch. The WCW Championship will be on the line. The World Heavyweight title will be on the line, as is Kurt Angle versus Booker T in a rematch. And then who is The Rock going to join? Is he going to join Is he going to come back to Team WWF for Vince McMahon, or is he going to join the Alliance? Because Shane McMahon did bring up good points to Vince McMahon. That Vince McMahon has screwed The Rock over and over again. He screwed him at WrestleMania 16 and he screwed him at WrestleMania 17. So The Rock has some heat with Vince.
Sure. Mm-hmm. But I think that it would have been really odd. I guess it is odd because, I don't want to give spoiler alerts down the road. Mm-hmm. There's a particular person who was never in either ECW or WCW that then joins the Alliance. But it would have been odd if The Rock came back and said, I'm going to join the Alliance because of, Stephanie and Shane. But whatever. I guess we'll see where that happens, right?
Yeah. Yep. So let's dive into this here Raw. This is Raw, July 30th, 2001. We are live in Philadelphia. So it's Jim Ross and Michael Cole again, but out comes Taz, Paul Heyman, and Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, yeah.
They come out, and then Taz goes, Mr. Dreamer, please escort Mr. Cole to the back so Mr. Heyman can do commentary and spread the word of the Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so poor Michael Cole gets basically harassed, a third grader. Tommy's like, give me your lunch money, kid. Mm-hmm. And it looks so funny. He's like, Michael Cole looks so puny and hopeless. He's like, yeah, what are you doing? So, Taz says tonight there will be a historic night for the Alliance. Booker T will bring the WCW title back, and The Rock will join the Alliance. So before anything else occurs, Chris Jericho comes out and he asks, will Taz please shut the hell up? So it's going to be Taz versus Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Flying forearm to Taz, huge clothesline to Jericho. Taz mission applied to Jericho. Then Jericho goes for a low blow to Taz. A bulldog and a lion salt to Taz for the win. For this matchup, Keith, I want a half a star. Taz showed up for a fight, and he kind of gets one, but he goes down way too easily. And this matchup is short, and Jericho throws in a low blow to win, with the lion salt. So I gave it a half a star.
I flat out gave it a dud. It's 34 seconds. It's two guys we know that can go. It's two guys that, given time, they probably could have tear the house down. Taz is really weird. I have a really weird feeling for Taz in his WWE run, mostly because I think he still had a ton left in the tank, and he's one of the best at being a small guy but wrestling like a big guy, Mm-hmm. And I think that's where I wanted to see. I would have loved to have seen Taz and Chris Jericho go toe to toe for a good solid, I don't know. I guess if you're going to give him 7 minutes, maybe, because you're not going to get anything more than 7 or 8 minutes on a Raw, especially during this era. But yeah, I went with a dud. I guess you could say a half a star just because of the name power, but it's almost the name power not getting any time to do anything is what makes me want to give it a dud.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Regal and Tajiri are backstage. Well, first off, it's Vince McMahon. Vince is backstage with Regal and Tajiri, and there's a lot of Rock memorabilia all over because, Vince wants The Rock to come back to Team WWF. Regal and Tajiri then bring Mr. McMahon pies. They got their apple pie, their chocolate pie, and then Regal pulls out a blueberry pie and realizes that a piece has been eaten, and it's been eaten by Tajiri. So, Regal's like, how dare you besmirch this blueberry pie? And, Vince is like, Regal, that's not the kind of pie that The Rock likes, He's like, oh, well, I didn't know that. But, there's a lot of pies here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was hilarious. That was a funny segment.
It is a good segment. You put Tajiri and Regal together, it was gold. You throw in Vince there, and of course the sexual innuendos of Poontang pie. Yeah, it's A plus humor.
Mm-hmm. So now, Now we have a matchup. It's a hardcore title match. It is Rob Van Dam versus Tajiri for the hardcore title.
Yeah.
Takedown by Tajiri. Both men duck each other's kicks. So like they know each other's moves, so they duck and then like they square off with like the fist ups, like knowing that these two guys, while they may not have met a lot in ECW, they can go and they know like each other's moves, like the kicks and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Oh, huge kick to RVD by Tajiri, spinning leg kick to Tajiri, front flip kick into a chair by Tajiri, tree of woe by Tajiri, bridge German suplex for a 2 count, a moonsault to Tajiri, and then the 5-star frog splash onto the chair for the win. For this matchup, Steve, I went 2 1/4. It was good. A lot of stuff happened, hardcore match. And Rob Van Dam is really showing why he belongs to have the hardcore title, because he is just kicking ass, against WWF guys. And he's showing that he wants to be a contender in this invasion.
Now, this was kind of, well, I guess, was this after really the 24/7 rule? Or was that, I mean, I guess it's probably still in effect, but it's not. I almost feel like at this point in 2001, they let the hardcore championship become like its own real championship and kind of be defended under, granted, hardcore rules, but it's not just a complete joke like it was during the 24/7 era. So I did like this a lot. I actually like this 2.5. I like this match a lot. I like the people involved. I'm a big fan of Rob Van Dam and of Tajiri, and this era hardcore matches was good.
Yeah, they really got rid of the Crash Holly, running around with referees basically, and
Right.
They're just having a one-on-one matchup. Occasionally, you will get a run-in with a guy but it won't be a comedic guy. It'll be maybe it'll be Rhino, Jeff Hardy, or Bradshaw, or someone who will go toe to toe with Rob Van Dam. It won't be Crash Holly, and Perry Saturn, or comedic guys.
It was a legitimate guy.
Yeah. So now we go backstage again. Shane, Steph, and Austin. Stone Cold are backstage with Rock memorabilia as well. Stone Cold is pumping up Booker T. Deborah comes in with her cookies, and the cookies will play a part on SmackDown as well. Keith, keep that in mind.
Okay.
Booker T eats a cookie, and then he starts getting a stomach issue. So he's going oh God, my stomach hurts. And then we go, so the cookies are not sitting well with Booker T's stomach. And then we have Vince. He's running to greet The Rock when he stopped by the Big Show. He wants to go over names for him and Billy Gunn. Oh. And it's what the hell, just go with whatever you feel, Show. I don't care. So this is a weird segment. And Big Show has fallen off the wagon with WWF here.
Yeah. I almost feel like Big Show would have been, it would have been bad, but Big Show would have made sense if he had gone to the Alliance. Just mostly because the amount of friggin' heel turns Big Show makes anyway, it would have made sense almost, But
so now we have Paul Heyman. He explains why he's doing commentary, because the Alliance needs a voice to get the message across. And to be fair, why wasn't Heyman? Heyman did not need to be in the back. He needed to be the voice with Jim Ross the whole time. I hate when, I've said it time and time again, I hate when JR and Michael Cole play off of each other. They're both lead announcers. They cannot be together if they're both lead announcers. You need a sidekick.
Yep.
And if you put Michael Cole with JR, all he does is just repeat what JR literally said 5 minutes later.
Sure. It's Mitchell Cole right there.
Yeah. a recap of Kurt Angle winning the WCW title. Kurt is confident he can beat Booker T again. He can't stand a crier. Kurt then challenges Stone Cold for a title shot. And then we go right to the parking lot. Vince, Steph, and Shane are waiting for The Rock. A limo pulls up, but out comes Canyon. So the joke is on Shane and Steph because they sent the limo for The Rock, and so does Vince. But Shane and Steph's limo come first. They think it's The Rock, but it's really Canyon, you know.
But who better than Canyon?
Everybody is better than Canyon.
Oh, how dare you?
No, I'm kidding. You know, nobody is better than
that's
Canyon.
the joke. That's the joke, though, is who's better than Canyon? Everybody!
Who better than Canyon? I mean, he is the WCW United States champion. Keep that in mind.
Everybody's better than Canyon, all right? That's all you need to know.
Yep. So now we have Matt Hardy and Lita versus Hurricane Helms and Tori Wilson. And I always had a question, Keith, but I got my answer like right away because of like where he is on the card here tonight. Did they not watch WCW and say, "Hey, Billy Kidman looks like he's dating Tori Wilson. Why don't we just put them together and make them a power couple?" You know, Kidman can fight the Hardys and Tori Wilson can fight Lita. It's Hurricane Helms here tonight with Tori Wilson.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's bizarre anyway. I think they just, honestly, I just don't think they ever liked Kidman. I think they had a thing for him or not for him. And obviously, you know, it's almost a Mark Mero Sable type situation where it's like, you're going to have to take him in order to get Tori. So it's like, that's where you get the Billy Kidman type stuff, but I have a feeling that they never really liked Kidman, and, you know, the less they had Kidman on television, the better off they were, which is why they go with a guy who is definitely likable and is probably, I feel like, on a higher plane with it being Helms, you know?
Yeah, but I don't think Helms had the charisma yet, as we'll see down the line of what he becomes. Like, he just didn't have it yet. I feel like Kidman had the factor since the beginning, you know? Like, you know,
that's the funny thing is, like, Billy Kidman's a much better performer, a much better athlete, and I feel like he also gets afterwards, like, he end up becoming like a trainer, I think.
Yeah. And it's like a producer now too. Like, he's still a producer at WWE.
Yeah, so it's like, I feel like Kidman ended up doing all the stuff that I think they had probably envisioned Helms to be like, you know?
Yeah. But I think Helms is still part of WWE at times too. Like, it's so weird, like, seeing them both. Yeah. But anywho, let's see what this match has to offer us as well. We have Fireman's carry by Lita, a clothesline to Tori. Helms grabs Lita by the hair. Double team suplex to Lita. Backdrop by Lita. Tag to Matt and Helms. Flying clothesline to both Helms and Tori. A neckbreaker to Matt. Hurricanrana by Lita. Twist of fate to Helms. But a low blow to Matt by Tori, and Helms gets the pin. For this matchup, I went 1.25. It was all right, but not a whole lot from Tori at all. You know, she's green as grass, and again, like I said, Helms just doesn't have it yet.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. It's not a great match. It's passable, but it's nothing to write home about. It's a very blech kind of match, I feel.
Stone Cold is backstage getting Booker T motivated, and when Stone Cold, Booker T's holding his stomach, he's like, "Dude, I don't know what's wrong with my stomach." And Austin goes, "Well, Booker, what did you eat?" He said, oh, I ate one of your wife's cookies. And Stone Cold goes, well, no wonder why your stomach's been hurting this whole time. Because those cookies are terrible. All I've been eating, I had them once, and I had a stomach bug for 3 days. Booker, what are you doing? So, that is not helping this scenario at all. Booker T is nervous of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Test is at WWF New York. We haven't seen him since the WWF basically turned their back on him because they thought that Test was bringing in WCW guys from the outside into Madison Square Garden and having them invade. So they thought Test was the mole leading the WCW guys in. So they all beat him up on the orders of the APA. So he hasn't been seen since Raw before King of the Ring, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Or after King of the Ring, I believe. Yeah, it was right before Invasion. But he supports, still loyal to the WWF, and he hopes Kurt Angle retains the WCW championship.
Yeah, I think I said this to you before. I saw him at WWF New York when he hosted No Way Out 2001. And he was the host for No Way Out, and I went to WWF New York for No Way Out 2001, and I remember when I was talking to him, I asked him when they were going to give him a run with the big belt.
Yeah. What did he say, Keith?
He was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, bro. Yeah.
So I'll give you the big boot, bro. They screwed me in 99.
They did. They sure did. Well, he was kind of a hot item in 99, Yeah. Him and the love triangle, that was a big deal, him and Stephanie and Triple H. So,
Yeah.
I thought a title shot was coming, and he ended up getting what? He didn't get much, but he got the Intercontinental belt, I think, for a little bit, or
yeah, he got the European title for a little bit, and a little bit of the Intercontinental title. He's got tag team titles too. I mean, he was with Test and Albert. Albert and Trish Stratus, so TNA, for mostly 2000.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Test makes his appearance coming back up here to WWF. But we do have a WCW title match. It's a rematch from SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Angle versus Booker T. Before we even get to that, Alliance members start beating up Kurt Angle, and then Rhino gets a gore on Kurt. Big brawl between WWF and Alliance members break out. And then, so we go to a commercial, and, all the Alliance members are out, but I think Shane McMahon is still there with Earl Hebner. So a lot going on there. Again, got to have, the Alliance does not play fair. And we see here that they're not winning clean at all. They're winning dirty, basically. Yep. So we'll see how this one fans out. Booker bounces Kurt off the guardrail. Belly-to-belly suplex to Booker. Side kick to Kurt. Low blow to Kurt. Another kick to Kurt's face. Flying forearm to Kurt. Chopped by Booker T. German suplex by Kurt. Booker misses with the chair. Another German suplex by Kurt. Angle slam to Booker. Stone Cold comes out. Angle counters a stunner. A scissors kick to Kurt. And then Kurt Angle punches Charles Robinson. Angle slam to Booker T. But then Stone Cold gives Kurt Angle the stunner. And Booker T gets the win. For this matchup, I went 2.5. Keith, it was all right, but a little too dirty for Booker T. They are really playing that this this matchup is that the Alliance can't win unless they cheat, and Stone Cold is really getting under Kurt Angle's skin because he won't give what Kurt Angle wants, and he just screwed him out of the WCW title as well. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this match?
I kind of went the same as you on this. I feel it's very similar. It's a good setup, but again, it's one of these matches that it's a setup. It's a setup match, so it didn't feel like it had high stakes, although I wouldn't have been surprised if they shifted it back you know, and had that. So, but yeah, no, I didn't love it, you know.
No. So Booker T is now the WCW champion. This is fifth time WCW championship. So they go basically back to Booker T.
Wait,
you
is
know,
this really this is his fifth? This is the time he wins it. I thought he had 5 times legit in WCW.
No, he had 4 times in WCW. They were just
okay.
calling it They were calling it the WCW champion. They didn't move it to the World Heavyweight title until after.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I thought
Survivor Series.
I thought when he said 5 time, it was that. But okay.
Already. Yeah, no,
okay.
I had to look it up too. But the 5th time is actually here tonight.
All right. Well, there you go. It's still the WCW championship. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, they were like it was kind of interesting to see how long Kurt Angle was going to have this WCW title. 3 days was too early, but they really wanted to rush this into Austin. This into like the Austin Angle feud here, so they had to get the belt off with Kurt. And
that's why I was saying.
Rising for other things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about it being just like it's just a filler match to fill, you know. I mean, I guess you want to get the belt off of Kurt because you know you did what you had to do. You showed that they're vulnerable, you know.
Yeah, that you can be an alliance member for a title, and that you can take a WCW championship away from them too. But again, it just goes right back. But we'll see what happens. Austin runs away from Kurt in a cowardly lion sort of way. Like, he just runs away. Like, he does his damage, but he runs away. Then Kurt runs into Deborah. Kurt tells Deborah her cookies and Stone Cold have something in common. They both suck. And he takes the cookie and he says, "This is what I'm going to do to your husband's ankle." And he starts ripping it apart. He wants to break it.
Sure.
So, Angle is pissed. So now we have Edge and Christian versus Lance Storm and Kanyon. Edge and Christian have been getting under Lance Storm's skin ever since they challenged him to a matchup at Invasion. And, who better than Kanyon as a tag team partner, So these are two, Edge and Christian are like the backbone of WWF. They help out. And Lance Storm and Kanyon have something to prove for the alliance here.
Yeah, it's just so funny to see like Lance Storm and Kanyon. I mean, both holding the mid card titles. God, Lance Storm never did anything in WWE, which is so sad. I mean, like he was so awesome in WCW. Back in and you know what the funny thing too is like. I remember loving the when he would change the titles over, to like the 100 kilogram and under and the Canadian Heavyweight Championship, the Saskatchewan Hardcore International title. I mean, I loved when he would do that. That shit was so good. And it's like that's the kind of stuff, that's the kind of shit that like I could see WWF doing and getting like actual fan reaction from and getting people like getting it over. That's right up Vince's alley, like changing the championship to, changing like the Intercontinental title to just the Canadian Championship. Or even if they went and had him as the U.S. champion and he changed it back to the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. It's just it's a shame that he didn't really do much after, he really didn't do much after the Alliance. He was kind of like, I don't know, barely around.
I mean, he got his tag team titles, basically. But again, like you said, like they didn't really push him forward. However, Keith, I will say this: Lance Storm, like they really were. He's like he does have something to kind of be proud of. That they trusted. They went with him to like let's give him the Intercontinental title because we know we can. Like they put a lot of trust into Lance Storm, and they were right. He's a great safe worker. He doesn't have anything bad to say. He's not a complainer. Like he did everything by the book.
No, he's a good dude.
They were like, oh, we can give this guy the Intercontinental title as like a kickoff to the Invasion.
Yep. No, he's a good dude.
Yep. So flapjack and spinning heel kick to Kanyon, backbreaker to Kanyon, drop kick by Storm to Christian, tag to another tag to Storm, leg drop to the back of Christian's head, cross body to Storm, neck breaker by Canyon, reverse DDT to Christian. Correct. Oh yeah, tag to Edge and Storm, spear to Storm, the Impaler to Storm, flapjack into the U.S. title by Canyon, and Storm pins Edge. With this matchup, Steve. Sorry, I'm so sorry for calling you Steve. My bad.
Don't worry about it, buddy.
Oh gosh, I went with 2.25. It was all right, but again, you're saying that the Alliance guys cannot win except when they cheat. You know?
Yeah, I agree. Although I would have probably said 2.5 because I think it's a good tag match. They had 5.5 minutes. It's not terrible, so I would have been okay with. I would be okay with like what did I say? 2.5 stars.
Yeah, you said 2.5. Yeah,
2.5. Yeah, that would be.
I said the quarter because, just the cheating ways. But
you're right. It's ridiculous but that makes sense that none of the Alliance is going to win clean because you have to pitch them as the ultimate bad guys because they're invading on Vince's turf. That's how the whole thing was going to go anyway. So.
And Stephanie always says that they're going to play dirty. So they're keeping true to their word of we don't play fair, we play dirty.
Right.
So Shane, Steph, Chuck Palumbo, and Sean O'Hare, of all people, are celebrating with Booker T as he wins the WCW title. But then Kurt Angle comes in and he beats up the Alliance members. Like, he gets shots on O'Hare and Palumbo, and he tries to get to Booker, but Booker escapes. Then Regal tells Vince The Rock is in his limo because Vince has specially assigned limo WWF 1 go to Rock's hotel room. So Regal says, "Oh, Mr. McMahon, your special limo is here. WWF 1 has arrived." And he's like, "That's my limo. I sent for The Rock, pal."
WWF 1.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I love it.
Yeah. It's like Air Force One, you know. How many limos have they had? It's like when you see like this, it's like they just got the same limo twice and was like, "I'll just repaint it again," you know.
Seriously.
And then when you see like people coming out of limos like 7 times, you're like, do all these guys got limos, or they just have the same one go back 7 times?
It's a lot of burning of gas.
Yeah, but gas was a lot cheaper in 2001.
It sure was.
So now we have a title for title match, meaning if based on the two that we have, it's Billy Kidman versus X-Pac. So if X-Pac pins Billy Kidman, X-Pac wins the WCW Cruiserweight Championship along with his light heavyweight title. Vice versa, Kidman will get the light heavyweight title along with his cruiserweight title. So this was I thought this was a pretty good matchup, you know. Like, again, X-Pac gets kind of booed because, like, I feel like the fans are tired of him, like the go away heat, you know, like DX is over with. Like, what are you still doing here? Come back maybe another time, because, like, you know, it does feel like X-Pac was always like the old crowd, but he could still go, you know?
Yeah. I love I did love how like the only person in the WWF faction that got booed on a consistent basis during the invasion is X-Pac.
Yeah, because, like, you put him in a category with, like, you know, guys like D'Lo Brown and, like, you know, the Good Father, and it's like, yeah, like, your gimmicks are over, bro. Like, go away, you know? Even those guys, like Godfather and D'Lo, knew when, like, it was their time to, like, leave and just be in the background, you know? X-Pac over here just wants to work. Yep. Let's see how this one happens. So let's see what happens in this one. Hurricanrana to X-Pac. Front flip over the top rope by X-Pac. Kidman throws X-Pac into the ring post. Leg drop over the top rope by Kidman. Big splash miss by Kidman. Power bomb by X-Pac for a 2 count. Bronco Buster, and then a drop kick by Kidman midair to X-Pac. Facebuster by Kidman. X Factor off the top rope for the win. For this matchup, Steve, I went 2 3/4. These guys did great. And that X Factor off the top rope by X-Pac for the win was really great. So X-Pac is now the new cruiserweight champion, WCW cruiserweight title champion, and he still has the light heavyweight title that nobody cares about.
I honestly didn't remember that it was this that they did it then. I felt like it was either at you know what, I don't know. I don't remember when they had they unified all the titles. I thought it was during like SummerSlam or the Invasion pay-per-view, but yeah, I guess it makes sense. This is kind of like the low end title. They're not gonna, they're gonna do this quick and quietly. But yeah, great match altogether. I also think I went 3.5, actually 3.5 stars on this.
Oh, okay. And it's not even that like they unified it where like the light heavyweight title goes away, because X-Pac will still come out with the two belts basically. But it was surprising that X-Pac got the win. I figured that they would have gone with Kidman, and I like you. I would have thought that they would have put the two titles on the line at Invasion, because at Invasion they're just getting it for the point. They're not going title for title.
Right.
And now we are in the parking lot again. A lot of camera guys too, like, Hollywood people, like TMZ reporters as well. I feel like Vince hired these guys and was like, hey, just take pictures like your TMZ and stuff. I'll pay you later. They're waiting on the parking lot for The Rock. Another limo pulls up, and it's not The Rock. It is Howard Finkel. He got lost with the directions and could not find The Rock's hotel. So Vince McMahon is very, very angry.
Oh my goodness!
Vince, I got lost with. Is that a 6 or a 3, Vince? I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry, Vince. Oh, yeah. So now JR and Paul Heyman go over DDP's actions last week on Raw, where he throws Sarah into the line of fire as the Undertaker accidentally hit Sarah with a chair. The Dudley Boys vow to put Sarah through a table, as we have a tables match now between Undertaker and Kane versus the Dudley Boys.
Yep.
Before we get there, The Rock is outside by the old Rocky statue, and he's going to make his way towards the arena here. Bubba is slammed into the announcer's table. Sidewalk slam to Devon. Flying clothesline to Devon by Kane. Clothesline to Bubba. Reverse neckbreaker to the Undertaker. Big boot to Bubba Ray. Nick Patrick moves the table so Devon doesn't get put through it. Low blow by DDP to Undertaker. Sarah counters Bubba Ray so Bubba Ray is about to put Sarah through a table, and then Sarah starts to counter him by biting him, scratching, and then the Undertaker gives Bubba Ray a chokeslam into a table for the win. For this matchup, I went 2 stars. It was all right. It wasn't really anything fancy. It was just to let that the Undertaker gets a little bit of revenge, and that this storyline between DDP and Sarah is not over with again. But it's good the Undertaker gets a win over the Dudley Boys here.
It's Brothers of Destruction. I love it. So anything for that. I'm gonna go nuts. But you're right. It wasn't that great. So I think I did go 2.5 because it's the Brothers of Destruction. But it wasn't anything more. It's a tables match. Those things are terrible. Anyway,
Yeah, especially when you're cut out for time here, and basically it's Bubba Ray doing it all. It's not like Devon. Devon has his moves, but it's really all Bubba Ray, and Devon just has the "What's up" bomb, basically. So we get to our So we get to our final segment here. Vince, Shane, and Steph all come to the ring. The Rock returns. Philadelphia is going crazy for him. Shane starts off by telling The Rock Vince will screw The Rock again if he goes to the WWF. Vince pleads The Rock to come back to the WWF, that they need him, and the Alliance wouldn't know what to do with The Rock. Plus, Stone Cold Steve Austin is now the leader of the Alliance. Why would you team up with the Rattlesnake? You can't trust the Rattlesnake and all this stuff, basically. First off, Rock shakes Vince's hand, but then he gives him the rock bottom. Shane starts to celebrate Rock, and then just like he shakes Shane's hand, but then that turns into a rock bottom to Shane and a people's elbow. Paul Heyman is going nuts. He's like, but whose side is he on, JR? Whose side is he on? And then The Rock announces, finally, The Rock has come back to the WWF. And now The Rock is celebrating with the fans. So the Alliance gets the ultimate loss of not having The Rock, but they did pick up wins, and they got the WCW championship back.
They sure did, which I believe Rock gets pretty soon, pretty quickly.
Yeah, we'll find out what happens there as well. But we are getting closer to SummerSlam. Again, Kurt Angle just really is like trying to get Stone Cold to budge and give him that title matchup here. We'll see what happens as The Rock starts down with the Team WWF versus the Alliance here too, and what SmackDown is, what's going to happen on SmackDown. And with that, we are on SmackDown, August 2nd, Washington, D.C. We have Michael Cole and Taz here. So no tough enough for Taz this week as he's on commentary. Kurt Angle comes to the ring. Angle admits he lost to Booker T, but he won't cry about it. Angle says he has a lot to do before summer ends. He wants to learn to surf. He wants to get a great tan. And he wants to go to SummerSlam and beat Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWF Championship. Kurt mentions Michael Jordan coming back. He says Michael Jordan can come back to another team, that's the Washington Wizards, and win an NBA championship. And he mentions Bill Clinton, he can make a comeback after the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal and everything too. So I laughed hysterically when he mentioned Michael Jordan and the Wizards. It's like he's gonna come back and win a championship. I can come back and win the WWF title at SummerSlam. It was a freaking funny thing.
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
Yep. And then he vows to make Austin tap. And then in a goofy segment, he leads the crowd into the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, just because they're in Washington, D.C., it's very patriotic, and it's ridiculous. That was a ridiculous segment.
Yeah, I mean, they were trying to. I mean, it's so funny there. I mean, we know what happens a month from now, and then there's this huge patriotic push, oddly enough, but it is funny, the pre 9/11 Kurt Angle being just so rah rah zis boom ba America. It's really funny, especially considering at this point America's still in a period of peace. We really haven't had anything go on since the Gulf War, so it's it's kind of funny to just see that there's this, all this is going on, and literally a month before the whole world changed. So it is kind of funny in retrospect to look at. Yeah.
Yep. Lance Storm comes to the ring with the Canadian flag. Lance says Kurt only won the gold because he didn't face the Canadian in the finals. Storm says that Kurt Angle's speech was a lie, just like the president of the United States was telling lies as well. Like he basically says that, which was hilarious. Storm then challenges Angle. Then Storm throws the IC title at Angle and then super kicks him in the face. So Lance Storm gets a nice shot in to Kurt Angle. So that was a pretty good shot by Lance Storm.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I like that.
Stone Cold is backstage, and out of nowhere, Sean Stasiak comes in, and he tries to suck up to Austin. But like Stone Cold is just like, oh yeah, man, I see you reaching for the stars, bro. You could do it. And then he goes, Deborah, who was that? And Deborah's like, Steve, he's in the Alliance. Like, how do you not know his name? Oh my gosh, yeah, this is so bad on Sean Stasiak.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Well, now we have a tag team matchup. It's the Hardy Boys versus Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Haire. Matt and O'Haire start off, crossbody by Jeff, clothesline to Matt by O'Haire. Frequent tags by both Palumbo and O'Haire, like they just kept on tagging each other in. They didn't do a whole lot with their time in the ring. They were just do a few punches, maybe a kick, and then they would just tag to each other. Backdrop to Palumbo by Matt. Tag to Jeff. Poetry in Motion to O'Haire. Twist of Fate and Swanton Bomb to O'Haire. Palumbo super kicks Jeff, and O'Haire gets the pin. For this matchup, Steve, it's I would say it's a star and 3/4. It's all right, but again, Palumbo and O'Haire really didn't do much, and Palumbo had to super kick Jeff to get the win for O'Haire here. So I went a star and 3/4.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great match. Star and 3/4, really. All right, I'll give you a star and 3/4.
No, what would you go with? Come on.
Maybe a star, maybe a star and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not too much. I'm not a huge Sean O'Haire and Chuck Palumbo fan, but at least it seems like it's a clean win, right?
Yeah, no, but because this is in WCW, the Natural Born Thrillers in WCW towards the end. If you really enjoyed WCW towards the end, these guys were the new faces, basically, especially Palumbo, O'Haire, and Jindrak. Not so much Sean Stasiak, but those three at the Natural Born Thrillers.
You're right. What's right is right, and you're right. They were getting up there and becoming something good in a time when it was not everything was. So, all right, I'll do 2 stars. How about that?
You don't have to do it for me, man.
In review, I'm gonna say, I'll admit when I'm wrong, and I think it's just my WCW bias that everything towards the end was garbage. But I'll say, But no, I know you love WCW in 2000 and 2000. No, I know that you're it's funny though, because you're a big WCW and the WCW fan. So I'll go with it.
I think it's kind of funny, the whole gaga of the storylines. The wrestling was good, the storylines were crap, but whatever, it's all good.
I mean, the funny thing is the stuff that's the newer guys were doing some good shit. The young guys were doing some good stuff. Yeah. I think it could have lasted.
Yep. And, that whole thing just happened and was well, now what do we do? Oh, let's get retrained and have nobody really realize who we are, because they're not WCW fans. So that's why it sort of failed, the invasion. Not just because of the top talent not being there, but because nobody really watched WCW towards the end unless you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Jericho and Stephanie are backstage. Jericho says Steph has a big zit on her face. And then, Christian and Edge come in and they start making fun of her. They called her, I forget what they called her. It was a trash bag scam. Oh, a tramp walker or something. Like, it was something funny along those lines, and Stephanie just barges off like all angry. So, Jericho, Edge, and Christian are having some ha-has with Stephanie, as this feud between Stephanie and Jericho will continue on and on. Best feud of 2001 by far is Stephanie and Jericho. One of the best feuds.
Yes, absolutely.
And now, so another dumb backstage. Keep in mind, Keith, we have a lot of backstage moments here. Stone Cold is approached by Stacy Keibler. Stacy offers Austin a cookie, and he eats them. He eats the cookies. Deborah catches Stone Cold in the act, and then Austin denies doing anything wrong. And then DDP is in a dark room with a shrine of pictures of Sarah. So we're getting to the creepier side of DDP with Sarah. At first it was kind of funny. Now it's just really weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Yeah, so now it's like cool. It's like the Cool Ethan, as the movie was. I think it was called Slackers, where he's got like the. You ever see the movie Slackers, Keith?
I have, yes.
Yeah, it's Ethan when they're in this room, and he's got the shrine of the girl. It's like, Jesus, what's wrong with you, man? Now we have a U.S. title match. It's Kanyon versus Kane. Kanyon asks, "Who's better than Kanyon? Who better than Kanyon?" And out comes Kane.
Anybody?
Yeah. Like before, when he asks the question, a big flamethrower comes up, and it's like, oh boy. Kane throws Kanyon into the guardrail. Kane throws Kanyon to the outside. Kane misses. Kane then goes into the guardrail. Then Kane catches Kanyon, flying forearm to Kanyon. Kanyon gets chokeslammed, but Nick Patrick DQs Kanyon because Kanyon grabbed Nick Patrick, and then Nick Patrick disqualifies Kanyon. So Kane gets the win by disqualification, but again, Kanyon retains the U.S. title. So a lot of cheating by Nick Patrick as he disqualifies Kanyon.
Oh, yeah. Crooked referee Nick Patrick.
Yep, for this matchup, I gave it a 1/4 star. You always got to love Kane's powerhouse moves. It was basically a squash match, and Kanyon got saved by the referee, but Kane's not done yet as he chokeslams Nick Patrick.
I mean, it's a dud. It's a dud for me, and the reason being is because it's just awful. But I do love Kane. I love me some Kane. I love 2001 Kane anyway. So yeah.
Yep. Now we have backstage Stephanie. She orders the Dudley Boys and Rhino to take out Jericho, Edge, and Christian. And now The Rock comes out to the ring. The Rock came back to the WWF because he vows he wants to help the WWF and for payback. He was born in the WWF, and he will always be Team WWF. And for payback to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Rock calls out Austin, but Booker T comes out. Booker T says Rock isn't even in Austin's league, or Booker T's league for that matter. Rock asks, who in the blue hell are you? What's your name again? And he goes, I'm the WCW, it doesn't matter who you are. So this apparently was Sting's answer to why he didn't come to the WWF.
Absolutely.
He said because he didn't want to get dissed by The Rock, which I thought was a great answer.
That's 100%. It was this part right here. I thought it was when I didn't realize it was this week. I thought it was the one, but it made sense because this is the first interaction The Rock has with
Booker T.
Because I was trying to think when Booker T first came in.
Yep.
And he was kind of still a baby face.
That's
post-WrestleMania? Or
I think you're thinking like post King of the Ring. Like King of the Ring, basically, the Booker T's a phase, like a little bit, but then he goes right to heel.
Because there's that one time where like he comes in and he helps like whoever the face is at the time in the WWF. I forget. I know it was only like a month ago in this thing, but I apologize. I didn't watch back then, but it's like I didn't watch the lead up, but and then I remember this part where he goes, "Who in the blue hell are you?" And that was, but I don't blame Sting for having an issue. I mean, dude, what the fuck? Booker T was like the biggest star in WCW at the end.
Yeah, and they made him like look.
Yeah, and that's The Rock. I mean, that's The Rock, you know.
Yeah, so then Booker T says that so Booker T actually challenges The Rock to a match at SummerSlam. Shane comes out. Shane says Booker is more athletic than The Rock, which is insane to say, but you know, like Booker T has been like in training, you know, like and you know, he's been wrestling, but The Rock's been off doing movies, so he might not be wrong, you know. The Rock could be out of shape. Shane doesn't want The Rock in the alliance anymore. Shane wants to fight The Rock. Shane challenges Rock to a street fight on Raw. So next week on Raw, we're going to get Shane McMahon versus The Rock in a street fight.
Yep, the Croc.
Yeah. Stone Cold's trying to explain to Deborah he had to eat a cookie. You know, he didn't eat all day. Lance Storm comes in. Austin tells Lance to make an example out of Kurt Angle and, like, rally him up. Like, you got this, kid. You can do this, son. Do it for the Alliance. Do it for Stone Cold, Lance. Take him out, Lance. Yep. And now we have the Dudley Boys and Rhino versus Edge, Christian, and Chris Jericho. Rhino and Y2J start off. Missile dropkick to Rhino. Atomic drop to Devon. And double T moves from Edge and Christian. Devon runs into Rhino. Flapjack to Edge. Spear to Rhino. Tag to Jericho. Swinging neckbreaker and Bulldog to Devon. Jericho reverses the What's Up bomb. Walls of Jericho to Devon, but Rhino gores Jericho. Devon gets the pin. For this matchup, Steve, I went 2 1/4. It was fine for what it was. Rhino had to gore. Rhino gored, Jericho, and that's gonna like start their little feud. So they're doing exactly what Stephanie said. You know, they are taking out Jericho, Edge, and Christian, and then you hear Bubba like, "Stephanie wants you dead. Stephanie said kill you," as he's punching Jericho, which was hysterical.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's not going to be that much longer where Jericho's allied with Stephanie, but okay.
Yeah, I went 2 1/4. I thought it was all right for what it was.
Yeah, 2.5. I'd say 2.5. It's a good match. It's a good tag match. Yeah.
Yeah, Stephanie wants you dead. Stephanie said kill you. Like, he's insane, Bubba, at this time. So now Deborah wants so now again backstage with this. This is ridiculous. This is so dumb. Deborah wants Steve to eat one of her cookies. Austin says Deborah is being selfish, you know. I'm not hungry. Stop forcing me to eat. So now Deborah comes to the ring, says people have been raving about her. People have been bad-mouthing Deborah's cookies. She gives cookies to the fans, and then Stone Cold comes to the ring. You know, that one lady wanted a cookie and didn't get one. She was like, "Come on, I want a cookie." Oh my God, yeah. Austin asks Deborah what the hell she is doing. Deborah says the fans love her cookies. Deborah is tired of Stone Cold disrespecting her. And then Deborah, out of nowhere, hits Stone Cold with the cookie tray. Stone Cold, you know, basically like is like, "Deborah, I love your cookies," and like, you know, he's left with the fans laughing at him, and he doesn't know what to do. So he gets so mad that he runs down Kurt Angle and then accepts Angle's challenge for the WWF title at SummerSlam. So we now know that it will be Stone Cold versus Kurt Angle at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. And in a hell of a main event too, I might add.
Yeah,
that's a great fucking match.
Yeah, this was such a dumb segment, though, to like get to what Kurt Angle wants. It's not about what Stone Cold wants. It's about what Kurt Angle wants, and they do it between a cookie segment with Stone Cold getting hit by a cookie tray.
Yeah, well, it's like, what was it? Jericho and Kane had a feud over a cup of coffee. You know, Booker T, was it Booker T and Edge was the shampoo commercial?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Regal is backstage with Tajiri for some reason, waiting for The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have Lance Storm versus Kurt Angle. Fireman's carry to Storm, clothesline and backdrop by Kurt. Boston Crab counter to an ankle lock. Storm gets the ropes. Storm bounces Angle off the top rope. Suplex to Angle. Cross body, both men go down because they were both going for the cross body. Belly to belly suplex to Storm. Super kick to Angle. Angle goes into the steps. Storm goes into the barricade. Angle slam and ankle lock to Storm for the win. For this matchup, Steve, Keith, I went 2 1/4.
Yeah, I love both of these guys. I think I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going 3 on this. I really like this match.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I like these two guys. But that's all right.
Yeah. No. It's fine.
It's Angel. Fine. You know, I love him. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Kurt Angle, like, he has this, like, you know, mindset. He just wants to get to Austin. He doesn't care who he beats up. You know, no more goofy, I pledge allegiance, even though he did say the Pledge of Allegiance. No more goofy Angle.
No. Like, Angle post invasion, pre spoiler alert when he joins. He's fucking awesome. You know, Angle is like this way over babyface during this early part of the alliance is fucking awesome. And he well earned everything he got at this time period. You know,
especially like after the feud with Chris Benoit into the street fight, we see the aggressive side of Kurt. Like, he's going to kill anybody to get what he wants. And the icing on the cake is when Stone Cold joined the alliance. Kurt was like, "That's it. I'm stepping up. No more goofiness. No more milk drinking. No more this. I'm just gonna kick your ass."
And I like too, because it seems like he took the place of The Rock. And I like that he took the place of The Rock because somebody had to. And I mean, I don't think that if he wasn't hurt, I don't think like Triple H would have taken the place of I feel like if Triple H wasn't hurt, I think that all the alliance stuff would have been like, I think Triple H would have done it. And I think like you would have had Austin turn face a lot earlier, and, you know, in that, and he wouldn't have been he would have been the face, and he would have been the one who led the WWF, because I don't think there was no way Triple H was going to do that, you know?
No, but I think Triple H could have played.
It would have been weird seeing Triple H in that role, especially considering none of his friends are in the friggin' alliance, you know? Like, he doesn't like any of those people, you know?
No, but again, if you have Stephanie, you know, maybe they would have put Triple H and Stephanie together, you know?
That's true. Yeah.
Like, Austin remains babyface and Triple H goes heel, but then also you think to yourself, what about Chris Benoit? What if Chris Benoit never got hurt, you know?
Yeah.
What would have happened there as well, you know? Would Chris Benoit have been chasing Stone Cold for the WWF title the whole time?
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe he changes. Maybe he flips because he knows if he flips, he'll get a shot against Austin, you know?
Yeah, like a lot of like what ifs here, and you know, questions that will never get answered. I know. So you just got to go and roll with the punches here. So Kurt Angle gets a win over Lance Storm, and we now know it's going to be Austin Angle for the WWF title. Regal tells Undertaker it's a non-title match versus Booker T. Taker says, I'll make it a WCW title match. Don't you worry about that.
Right.
And now we have a Tough Enough recap. Shadrick is eliminated, but this one elimination took Jacqueline to heart too. That she felt really, really bad for this guy. He really was trying, but he just did not cut it at all. So Shadrick is eliminated from Tough Enough week.
Tough Enough.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, it was a cool concept, and anything on MTV was cool,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not the best, but we still got to see The Miz, and The Miz came out on top.
We did.
Yeah. Maven!
Wait, he didn't win that year, did he?
No, Miz lost in 2004 to Daniel Puder, but The Miz, out of anyone who's been on Tough Enough, you have to think, even though he didn't win Tough Enough, The Miz still had the best career.
Oh my God, absolutely. Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. There's not even there's no comparison.
Yeah, there's no comparison at all,
I'll be honest with you. I think as far as any reality competition show.
Yeah.
American Idol, America's Got Talent, Tough Enough, The Amazing Race, Survivor, any friggin' reality-based competition show, The Miz is the top guy.
Yeah,
Mike Zanin or whatever his name is the guy that is the top guy of all time because he's had more success. I think I would dare to say he's even had more success than Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, now at least. Yep.
Yeah, and I would say that Kelly Clarkson, maybe Carrie Underwood beats him out, maybe.
Yeah. Well, when everyone wanted Clay Aikman to win, they got Ruben Studdard,
Right. Exactly.
And then he realized, Clay Aikman only has one hit wonder, and Ruben Studdard didn't really do that much either.
Ruben Studdard didn't even have one hit.
Yeah.
Clay Aikman had one hit.
Ruben Studdard had a little rap song in Scooby-Doo 2. That's it.
Oh, is that what he did?
Exactly. One thing.
All right.
Yep, that's it. So then Booker T actually we're backstage with Booker T and Shane, and he accepted the Undertaker's challenge because he doesn't want to get punked out by anybody. So Booker T now is putting up his WCW title belt to say that he's not afraid of any WWF competitor. So it really does show that Booker T wants it, and he's not a sucker for The Rock or Undertaker or anybody,
Yep.
So now we have The Undertaker versus Booker T. It's for the WCW title. Booker punches and a sidewalk slam to Booker. Big boot by Taker. Clothesline to the outside to Booker T. Booker slams Taker into the steps. Booker goes to work on Undertaker. Cross arm breaker by Undertaker. Shane pulls the ropes on Taker. Taker goes into the announcer's table. Clothesline by Undertaker. Taker punches Shane. Shane then grabs Sarah to distract Taker. Sarah elbows Shane and Taker beats him up. Booker T hits Taker with a chair. Rock gives Booker T a rock bottom. Shane hits the Rock with a chair. Shane then punches Tim White. Booker hits Taker with the belt. Rock beats up Shane. Then the Alliance members come out, and then the Rock and Taker clean house. So this is kind of fuzzy, like a crazy matchup. But for what it was 2.25 in my book. And then you just have the Rock and Undertaker standing tall. That the Rock is Team WWF, and he will lead the WWF along with the Undertaker here.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. That in-depth analysis, Gruney, I think you're right. So, yeah, I agree with that. Standing tall. The Alliance Well, the whatever you call it, the WWF.
Yeah.
What were they called? Like
They're just called Team WWF.
Yeah. The originals. I don't know.
Yeah, just Team WWF, basically,
Mhm.
But like this was like insane, like crazy, like way too much like Gaga run-in crap, like no
Yeah.
clear winner, like a lot of like, oh well, I'm gonna hit you with the title. Oh well, I'm gonna hit you with the chair. Oh, there goes the referee. Just to like get The Rock to come out and give Booker T a rock bottom and clean house of the Alliance members again. So we Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo leading the charge, basically, of like people to get their ass kicked by the WWF.
Yep.
So that's going to wrap up the Raw and SmackDown portion of things. But what do you think of like this going forward? That we now know that it's going to be Stone Cold versus Kurt Angle at SummerSlam, and that The Rock is on Team WWF, and he will fight WCW champion Booker T at SummerSlam. What did you think of all this, Keith?
I mean, I think it's looking back at this period, it's not as bad as people give it for. I think that there was a lot of positives in this. And these shows kind of show it, It didn't really go off the rails, I feel. I think that what they did post-invasion was kind of odd, because all of a sudden now you have these guys who are in the fold, as they should be, but it's just you don't really know what to do with them. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was good. It's good television. It's good entertainment to watch. So, yeah, I liked it altogether.
Yep, I thought it was good. It gets the message across on what we're going with for SummerSlam, and we'll see how some of the feuds pan out. Like what's going to happen between Stone Cold and Kurt as we get to SummerSlam, The Rock and Booker T. What's going to happen down the line with Stephanie and Chris Jericho. Because she's got Rhino and the Alliance. Basically gunning for Jericho's head, and what's going to happen with Undertaker and DDP again.
Sure.
But the real question is, who better than Canyon? Am I right, Keith?
Mm-hmm. Everybody. Yeah.
Well, before we go, Keith, do you have anything that you want to direct the listeners Place to Be Nation product to?
Well, you can always hear me every week on the GFA Live with Petey Winson. That's separate, but you can hear that on any podcatcher app. It's on Spotify, I don't know what it's on. It's on a whole bunch of shit. You can look for it. Also, you can hear me pretty much weekly on the To Be Nation Pop feed with the Pop Video Jukebox Song of the Day. And, of course, on the North-South Connection Podcast Network, you can hear A La Carte with Keithy. The next episode should be dropping on the 19th of January, and then you can hear that. And, just check it out, And then at the Twitter, or as rather the artist formerly known as Twitter, X, you can check me out at Flounder824.
Yes, thank you very much, Keith. I enjoy listening to everything that you produce on Place to Be Nation and GFA Live as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Uh-huh. As for me, you can find me mostly here on the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed with this podcast. And as I mentioned before, I kept on calling Keith Steve. I have Extreme Resurrection also on this podcast with Steve Riddle as we are going through ECW on Sci-Fi between 2006 and 2010. We are right in 2007 heading towards the reign of John Morrison as ECW champion. And we just learned that CM Punk will face John Morrison at SummerSlam 2007 for the ECW title.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's gonna do it from us here. I want to thank Keith Langston for helping me out being my guest. And so, Nation, again, be prepared as we, the nation, bring the invasion.